What's up, everyone? Taking you on a field trip today of an old case that I did a long time ago. So I've never seen this house. I've seen it on Google Maps, but this is the first time I've seen it in person. Nice thing about overages, right? You don't have to visit properties in person. That's something that's very unique. You know, in other real estate niches, you usually gotta go check out the house because you're gonna buy it. But since we're not buying anything, we're just helping people collect money from foreclosures and tax sales. You don't have to visit the properties. Now, can you if you want? You can, but you don't have to. So check this house right here, okay? With the two cars. So super nice area. You probably can't see it behind me, but nice little twin homes is where we're at. And this is actually a private community, but the gate was open, so here we are. Don't tell anyone. But yeah, it's super nice neighborhood. You can kind of see the streets and all the twin homes, right? So let me tell you the story of this house. House went into foreclosure. It was an estate case. So the owner had passed away and there were some heirs. And when I was doing my due diligence on it, there was a ton of liens on this thing, okay? So that begs the question, should you pursue deals that have liens on them or judgments against the homeowner? It depends. In this instance, this particular case with this house right here, the cars, it was about an $80,000 overage. Okay, so there's a lot of money there. But if all of the liens had come forward and filed a claim, it would have wiped out the entire amount, okay? So it's interesting, on those types of cases, you have to evaluate the situation and say, okay, do I even pursue this? Is it worth my time and is it worth my effort, okay? Now, this is going to change over time depending on where you're at in the business, okay? So when I did this deal, this was when I had recently left my job and I was still trying to see if this thing would work. Like, could I do overages full time? Like, that's where I was at. And so I would take anything. That's the bottom line. I would take any deal that came across my desk. And if there was even a chance, a sliver of hope that we would get some money, I would pursue it, okay? So that was that's where I was at. Now that I have many years in the business, right now I'm not that way, okay? I don't take anything that comes across my desk. In fact, I actively look for reasons not to do a deal. But that's just because I'm at a different point in my business and I'm able to do that. So back to the liens, what do, right? Check this out, guys. So this is a private golf course. I don't golf, but whatever. So going back to the point, you have to evaluate the situation and you have to decide, okay, do I want to take a chance, roll the dice and see if the lien holders are going to come forward? Because lien holders still have to file their own claims, okay? So what happened in this instance? I told the client, I said, look, this is a super risky case. There's a high probability we are not going to get any money from this, okay? But if you'll allow me to do it, you know, I'll handle all the costs, I'll handle all the risk. If we get something, we both win. If we get nothing, you're out nothing. Okay, that's what I told the client. And what I would have been out would be my filing fees to submit the claim with the court, because in this instance, the money was held by the court, and then time for my attorney, okay? So about an hour of time plus so I would have been out about $750, okay? $350 filing fee, hour of an attorney's time at $350 an hour, $700. So I was like, okay, do I risk $700 to potentially get something? What ended up happening? We filed a claim on the surplus. Several lien holders came forward, filed their claims, but not all of them did. So after the liens that did file paid out, there was $14,000 left over, okay? And I did this at a higher percentage because it was risky. It was an estate deal. I think we did a 60-40 split. So after all was said and done, I walked away with 40% of 14,000, okay, which I think was around 5K, right? 14, 28, yeah, just over 5,000. So I risked 750 and I got $5,000 back. It could have gone the completely other way. I could have lost $750, right, and not gotten any money back. But in this instance, we rolled the dice and we won, okay? So the bottom line here, the takeaway here is, number one, make sure you know what's on a property. Do your due diligence, do your research, know what liens exist, know what liens exist against the judgment against the homeowner, okay? And then evaluate the scenario and say, okay, do I roll the dice and risk going after this, or do I just not pursue the deal and go focus only on good deals? That's going to be determined by where you're at in your business, okay? If you're just getting started and you can afford the risk, you might as well do the risk, in my opinion, because you get the experience, right? And then as time goes on, you might get a little more picky and say, I'm just not going to deal with it. Like if this same deal came across my desk today, I'd probably be like, I'm not even going to deal with this situation, because there is a likelihood that we might not get anything, okay? So I hope that helps. That's kind of just a little field trip from a real life scenario. Kind of a cool area. It's a nice place to live. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys as far as, okay, what do you do if there's liens? Well, you have to evaluate it. And that's something you should be doing on all your deals, right? Checking to see if there's liens. If you don't know how to do that, I teach that in the program, okay? Module 2 of the course, okay? For those of you that are already students, you might want to review that every so often, okay? It's very important to develop the skill of knowing how to find liens, check for mortgages, check for judgments, okay? The places you're gonna go are the recorder's office, court records, to do that research. And if you just don't know how, but you wanna be completely sure, you can always order a title search, but that gets expensive. I don't order title searches unless I actually have a signed contract, because you don't wanna be ordering title searches on just leads, okay? You're gonna run out of money if you do that. You need to be able to learn how to do your own title work, okay? And I teach you how to do that in the course. Link to that's down below. But I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have questions, post them down below, and I appreciate you guys watching.